Sayak, and let's know some facts about the Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus since it launched. So, in the heat of the Note 7 bursting into flames and lots of happenings, you know all about that. The much anticipated Samsung's flagship, the S8 and S8 Plus. Well, nothing was too exciting for me since the launch because, you know, there were tons and tons of rumors and leaks about the device, the design, and the specs that it's gonna have, the 835 SoC and things like that. Samsung has been playing it pretty well from the past 2 years now. In the camera department, in the display, the design segment, they have been weak in the battery segment, but the other segments, the specs and performance, they have been playing it quite pretty well, and so there were a lot of expectations from the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus. But my first look and my first thoughts that came to mind looking at the device was kind of a mixed feeling, but again, it's very much me. So let's get started with the facts about the Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus. It has been all about display for Samsung for a while, you know, its edge-to-edge features, its stunning looks, and the brightness and the vividness of the colors, the saturation of the display, the Super AMOLED display. It's an eye-popping display again with the Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus. Therefore, it is one of the best displays on any smartphone you could get. Well, the design this time has been super aggressive as well. The minimal bezels, there is hardly any bezels because it's an edge display. The screen is kind of melts over to the sides, and the top and the bottom chins are very thin. I think the 2017 is gonna be like a bezel-less smartphone war, and the war has already started with the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus and previously launched LG G6. Well, with very minimal bezels. Now, what protection do we have? It is, well, Gorilla Glass 4 or 3, whatever it is, but that is just scratch resistant and not shutter resistant or break resistant from a height. So if it's very less bezels on the phone, then if you drop a phone from maybe like a foot or two, then it'll end up cracking your screen. Now the camera, the department, that they did excel quite a bit in the past years with the f1.7 shooters. But at this time, the S8 and S8 Plus, it is kind of unimproved at the points, the rear camera, with a little bit of software improvements. But yes, the front camera has been improved. It has been jumped to an f1.7 aperture camera with autofocus system as well. So in the heat of dual camera setup in smartphones for maybe different purposes, but Samsung did play it safe. Either way, it is the same f1.7 shooter. Pretty good in my opinion. But one thing that is quite irrelevant looking thing to me is the battery size with respect to the screen size. You know, the Samsung Galaxy S8 is 5.8-inch phone and with a battery of 3000 mAh, and the Samsung S8 Plus is a 3500 mAh phone with a screen size of 6.2. Now, there are not a lot of 6.2-inch phones, and 3500 mAh batteries looks decent, but those are with 5.5-inch phones now. But that is a point that we could test out, and then we would be sure about that. Now Samsung this time took a pretty bold step in my opinion and introduced a dedicated button for their designed artificial intelligence called Bixby. Now I don't know how it's gonna be or how it's gonna perform against Google or Siri, but the step itself for me is kind of not clean, and it's just like, you know, you can imagine like having two artificial intelligence, one by Google and one by Samsung, both existing on a single device. Like S8 is, or S8 Plus, both are Android devices, so they are gonna have the Google Assistant. A long press of the home screen is gonna pop out Google Assistant. So it might be like Bixby and Google Assistant doing the same things and then crashing in together and the work's not happening and what all not. Oh my god. And we have previously had the S voice from Samsung, and that we know how it went down. It's not all about, I'm not going all about its performance and what it's going to do, but the step itself is just kind of not clean. Well, we in 2017 expecting clean and refined phones, but where's it? Samsung with the S8 and S8 Plus ditched the home button and the lower chin of the phone and went with softer buttons. Now the softer buttons are kind of ugly to me. Again, it's very much me, but And again, Samsung has gone with the back button on the right side of the home button, but it should still do on the left side of the home button. That is more practical. But luckily you can rearrange the buttons of the navigation bar, but you have to go with the looks it has. People now don't mind fingerprint scanners on the back of the phones, like the Pixel XL you have, for example. Move the fingerprint scanner from front to the back and placed it in an extremely awkward place beside the camera itself, like huge phones with 6.2-inch screen and 5.8-inch screen, and luckily or unluckily for small hands, they are not going to be able to reach the fingerprint scanner with one hand itself. It's way too out of place. Is there any need of introducing unnecessary uniqueness into your phones because of the brand name? But the intention behind that, maybe one thing that I can figure out is that the iris scanner, they kind of want to replace the fingerprint scanner with iris scanner as security methods. That is kind of improved in this S8 and S8 Plus. But again, I don't think it's going to replace pretty soon. So overall, Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus are pretty promising in my opinion. I am pretty much optimistic for both of devices, but I expect it to be a lot more cleaner than they actually are. Now, is it necessary for Samsung to get in war with Google as well? Or why does kind of Samsung redesign or redo every single piece of Google software that Google does? Google is kind of pretty good in that. Or Samsung has the least need to introduce any unnecessary changes into pretty much every Google software. So that is, they could look upon in 2017 and make it a more better experience for Android users. But regarding the hardware, pretty spot on with the latest chipset from Snapdragon 835. That is going to keep up with its performance, and then water resistant, fast charging, wireless charging with that. So it is definitely going to be one of the top-notch devices in the Android segment or the Android lineups. So which is pretty good. But again, yeah, few things here and there which keep disappointing people. Obviously it's not the perfect smartphone. There is nothing called perfect smartphone. So, and yeah, again, we all pray that Samsung this time doesn't manufacture bombs. You know what I mean? So that's been it for now. Put down your thoughts about Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus, what you expected and what you get, and all your queries and thoughts about it in the comment section below the like button. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay tuned. I'll talk to you in the next one.